It was a beautiful summer day, and Emily and her friends decided to go on a hike through the woods. They had heard rumors of a secret swimming hole deep in the forest, and they were determined to find it. As they made their way through the trees, Emily noticed that the forest seemed different somehow. The leaves were darker, the branches twisted and gnarled. But she brushed it off, telling herself it was just her imagination. They finally arrived at the swimming hole, and it was more beautiful than they could have ever imagined. The water was crystal clear, and the sun was shining down through the trees. They stripped off their clothes and jumped into the water, laughing and splashing around. But as they swam, Emily couldn't shake the feeling that something was watching them. She glanced up at the trees and gasped in horror. There was a figure standing on a nearby hill, watching them intently. It was a woman, with long, tangled hair and a ragged dress. Emily's friends didn't seem to notice her, but Emily felt a chill run down her spine. She couldn't explain it, but something about the woman made her skin crawl. Emily tried to ignore the woman and went back to swimming with her friends. But as the day wore on, she kept catching glimpses of the woman in the woods, always watching them with those cold, unfeeling eyes. Finally, as the sun began to set, Emily and her friends decided to pack up and head back home. But as they were getting dressed, they heard a strange noise coming from the woods. It was a low, guttural growling sound, like an animal. Emily's friends were getting scared, and Emily was too. They hurriedly got dressed and started to make their way back through the forest. But as they walked, the growling sound grew louder and more menacing. And then, without warning, the woman from the hill appeared in front of them. Her eyes were now a bright, glowing red, and her skin was stretched tight over her bones. Emily and her friends tried to run, but the woman was too fast. She lashed out with her long, bony fingers, grabbing Emily's arm and pulling her close. And then everything went dark. When Emily woke up, she was alone in the woods. Her friends were nowhere to be seen, and the woman in the woods was gone. Emily tried to run back to civilization, but the woods seemed to have shifted and changed around her, leading her further and further into a dark, twisting labyrinth. In the end, Emily was never seen again. Some say she was lost in the woods forever, trapped in a never-ending nightmare. Others say that the woman in the woods took her as a sacrifice, feeding off her fear and terror. But one thing is for certain: nobody who enters those woods ever returns the same.